The man don't know nothing, and I'm gonna show everybody out there watching the show and the whole world, and the world will bow and admit that I am the greatest of all times when you see what I do to George Foreman. I'm just getting hot thinking about it.
They said Muhammad Ali had a big mouth.
You're so hot about it. Have you made up a poem of it?
They said he had a massive ego. And yeah, there were some days when that was kind of hard to argue with.
You can look at me, I'm loaded with confidence. I can't beat me. I had 180 amateur fights, 22 professional fights, and I'm pretty as a girl. I don't get hit. Like, I don't get hit, I'm so pretty.
But here's something else that's hard to argue with. Ali's selflessness. Because if ego was all that drove him, he would never have exposed his frailties, would never have appeared before 3.5 billion viewers around the world, lighting the Olympic cauldron in Atlanta in 1996, at once a sad, trembling figure and an awe-inspiring pillar of courage. Trapped in the depths of Parkinson's disease, speech impaired, the orator in him was long gone. But the messenger could still deliver one of the most memorable moments in Olympic history. Delivering messages always was Ali's specialty. At first, it was just entertainment, as the then Cassius Clay's arrogant little poems infuriated some and amused others.
If you like to lose your money, then be a fool and bet on Sonny. But if you want to have a good day, then put it on Clay.
Sonny, of course, was Sonny Liston, leg breaker for the mob. Arrested more than 20 times, Liston was billed as the meanest man on the planet. He was the world heavyweight champion, twice demolishing former champ Floyd Patterson inside the first round. And after the brash 22-year-old Clay had chased him around America, goading him into a fight, he was expected to shut that big mouth good.
Cassius Clay was a good, talented young fighter, but most members of the sporting media didn't give him a chance.
Most members of the sporting media were, of course, wrong. The young challenger was too fit, too fast. And at the end of round 6, Liston quit on his stool, the new champ delivering his first iconic message.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
Once he had demolished Liston twice, it became apparent there was another side to the now Muhammad Ali. Yeah, he would shake up the world.
I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Mohamed Ali.
Long before his poetry, his charisma, his speed, skill, and power made him revered, Muhammad Ali was just a teenage talent, aspiring to an Olympic dream. That dream came true in Rome when the 18-year-old amateur Cassius Clay won the gold medal in the light heavyweight division of the 1960 Games. Ali would later claim he threw his gold medal into a river in disgust after being refused service in a restaurant back home. The story has been disputed down the years, at least a bit about the medal. Everyone believes the bit about the restaurant. Discrimination in America infuriated him, and he very early realized he was in a position to do something about it. That anger and his social conscience defined the rest of his life.
Very disturbed about the militaristic posture of our nation.
As soon as he became champion, he spurned what he called his slave name, and Cassius Marcellus Clay morphed into the Islamic superhero Ali. This bout against Ernie Terrell became known as the What's My Name fight. Terrell had made the mistake of repeatedly calling Ali by his birth name. In a one-sided contest, which he could have ended sooner, Ali taunted him, asking, "What's my name?" before hitting him. Terrell was one of Ali's 9 successful title defenses in the mid-60s. The champ could float like a butterfly and sting like a bee as he dazzled his opponents in the ring and out. Ali's life became a traveling circus, the media following his every move, even his training sessions being conducted to packed houses. But behind the scenes, a storm was brewing. His draft resistance, refusing to fight in Vietnam, saying, "No Viet Cong ever called me nigger," saw him banned, stripped of his titles in 1967, and locked in a 4-year battle against the U.S. government.
The best man. Who do you think? I don't know.
Whatever the punishment, whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
As he toured college campuses, speaking in support of civil rights and defending his decision not to go to war, more and more in the U.S. found their conscience pricked, the Vietnam War becoming increasingly unpopular.
In June, the president tried to meet the issue when he ordered a partial troop withdrawal.
I haven't burnt my own draft record. But what I'm doing is legal. This is why I believe I'll receive justice in the higher court. You can deny the draft on any grounds, but you'll have to go to court. It's law. If you lose, you go to jail, which I said I do. My fight is legal. But if you notice, I'm been the most persecuted. I'm not allowed to work in America. I'm not allowed to leave America. Home of the brave, land of the free.
Man holding center stage is Mohamed Ali.
In 1971, the U.S. Supreme Court gave Ali his greatest victory. And forevermore, when he set foot in a ring, it was as the hero.
I think Americans are always impressed by people who stand up for their principles and pay for it in some way. And he certainly did. You know, millions of dollars, unable to fight, a very bad time in his life. America suddenly saw, you know, this guy really stood up. He stood up for what he believed in, you know. He got the hell kicked out of him for it in every way possible.
After 2 warm-up fights against Jerry Quarry and Oscar Bonavena, Ali's reward for pricking the U.S. social conscience was a dramatic first encounter with another Olympic gold medalist who owned the titles taken from him.
You're not fighting Oscar Bonavena. You're not fighting Sonny Liston. You fighting Joe Frazier.
Everybody knows that's not the point.
That's the point.
No, what's your prediction?
My prediction, the fight wouldn't go the distance.
Oh, it won't
I'll
go the
stop
distance.
it.
Stop me, you.
They did trash talk so much better back then, although both got their predictions wrong. Joe Frazier won a brutal fight of the century by unanimous points decision, but would lose his title to George Foreman. Seeking to recover lost ground from 3 years out, Ali rattled off 12 wins from 13 fights in 2 years, losing only to Ken Norton before winning the Frazier rematch. Then to Zaire for the rumble in the jungle against Foreman. It was in Africa that Ali's incredible pull with the people of the world became apparent.
Most expensive single sports event in history.
Foreman pouring. Ali, this is a cruising round for him.
After fooling Foreman with the rope-a-dope, he became as much a statesman as a fighter.
The heavyweight champion of the world, Mohamed Ali.
The crowd that cheers, the money.
His campaign against racial injustice had struck a chord across all continents. Politicians wanted to be seen with him. Promoters like Don King wanted to cash in on him. The Thriller in Manila was his third and deciding contest against Frazier. And for both men, it assumed an importance beyond money and titles. If their previous fights were tough, this was brutal. Ali by TKO when Frazier couldn't answer the bell for round 15, but neither fighter was ever the same.
It's a great possibility, fellas. This might be my last fight tonight. A great possibility you probably saw the last of Ali.
To his detriment, he kept fighting.
You will fall.
A shadow of himself in the ring, he became a giant outside of it, as world leaders sought his company. He returned many times to Africa, always to a hero's reception. Ali helped shape political landscapes in the U.S. and abroad like no other athlete before him. Footage of the era shows that he had good days and bad days with his health. Days when he was slow and stumbling, and others when his charisma outshone even the most powerful of leaders. In 1984, it was announced he was suffering from Parkinson's disease and brought awareness of its horrors, raising an estimated $100 million for research. Though he was seen less often in public as he grew older and weaker, his legend grew and grew. Unbeatable in his prime, the greatest succumbed on June 3rd, 2016, age 74. It was not unexpected, and so the news unleashed a celebration of his life as much as a mourning for his passing.
The world denounced him. People would pay to go to fights to see him beat, but he stood right there. And because he stood for something, the whole world turned around and started honoring and respecting him. He went from being despised to the most loved and renowned person on the planet because he stood for something.